Hi guys! Today we'll be diving into how beauty standards promoted by society can trick black women out of their spot. I really want to keep this one more chill and personal, so we'll just be chatting. You ready to dig in? Body dysmorphia, pure talent, and low self-esteem are calling. Pick up! Countess Vaughn is an enormous talent who began her career at just 10 years old when she won Star Search as Junior Vocalist Champion, which launched her into the entertainment industry. This led to a recurring role on the hit show 227. Nonetheless, Countess is best known for her breakout role as Kim Parker on the hit UPN sitcoms Moesha and its spinoff, The Parkers, where her comedic timing and unique charm made her a fan favorite. Her performance on The Parkers earned her a NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Actress in a Comedy Series. Beyond acting, she has also pursued music, releasing her debut album Countess in 1992, which showcased her powerful singing voice. Vaughn has remained a staple in black television, celebrated for bringing humor, relatability, and representation to screens during the late 1990s and early 2000s. Now, I first remember seeing Countess alongside Brandy when I would watch reruns of Moesha as a child. I was born in '04, but I still felt attached to the show and enjoyed the representation. I remember Kim on Moesha being funny and intelligent and very fly. I liked her aura and the way she carried herself, which I think can be attributed to her own style as well as the allure of the 90s. When I found The Parkers, I fell in love, and today it is still an absolute staple for me. I think the show is a classic and something I'm sure I'll be watching when I'm like 80. Kim of The Parkers is different from that of Moesha in that the writers dumbed her character down over time so that she would be more of a comedic relief. And I know today many people thought this change was unnecessary, and I agree it didn't have to happen, but I do see why it's a great tool to further differentiate the show from Moesha. Kim is in an entirely different world in this show, despite there being guest appearances from Moesha characters. I also think relying on Countess's comedic timing, which was incredible, highlighted her versatility while also allowing her to play off of Monique, who is of course also very funny on the show. In addition to this, the show allowed Countess to display her singing ability with the group Freestyle Unity, who had hits, okay? What's your favorite Freestyle Unity song? I think mine is the one when they go around, 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 around we go. Or Mama Killed Him with the clown. That was very funny. Comment yours down below. Outside of her personality, I also really love Kim's style on The Parkers. Her outfits were always very fashion forward and true to her character. But I have to be honest, above everything, I loved her hair. Again, I wasn't even a thought when the show was airing, so I believe her braids to have been micro braids, or her hair might have been short and so you braid the root, knot it, and then let the extensions hang. But some may call them pick and drop braids, and child, I don't know. If you know, please comment down below. Her hair sort of reminded me of French braids at times, but I'm pretty sure they're micro braids. Either way, I've always wanted my hair like hers. Just the look of extensions while allowing your scalp to breathe and without leave out is so cute. I want to say the closest thing to this today could also be boho braids, where it's a lot of boho hair, like the Bora Bora braids, which as I say this, I think they're similar to pick and drops. Anywho, I've always admired how she rocked so many different styles and even colors, from the curls to the buns to the ponytails. Her hair was always laid, and I wonder who did it, like who was her stylist? Whoever it was killed it. And side note, I just love the innovation of black women when it comes to our hair anyways. Like especially in today's era of like wigs, where a lot of folks put onto wigs and extensions, which can be fire, but it's still nice to be reminded of different ways to wear your hair. And the 90s and 2000s girls had it down packed, okay? From the time Countess stepped into the industry, she was made aware of how her looks were subpar. She speaks about this during her time on Hollywood Divas, in which she recalls a 227 cast member calling her fat, black, and ugly. This narrative followed her until Moesha, where lines and sometimes entire episodes were centered around her weight, despite the fact that she was not even fat. She might have had some weight on her bones, like she wasn't a zero, but she did not give overweight. Moreover, her insecurities only increased on the set of The Parkers, where Countess recalls her castmates would compare her butt to white co-star Jenna Von Oys. In an interview with Family Matters actress Cherie Johnson, Countess states, "They'd be like, 'You're a black girl, and Jenna Von Orr's butt is bigger than yours, and she's a white girl.' And that used to bother the heck out of me. That used to be the joke all the time. Because I'm a black girl and I'm supposed to have a big butt," she said. "You know, you fall into these stereotypes. You feel like I'm supposed to have this. And then you see all the attention she would get for having it. They would lose their minds. I'm like, ass is everything." The comparisons eventually led to Countess getting butt injections. During this same interview, Countess recalls the impact the constant mentioning of her weight on Moesha had on her self-esteem. She says, "And I get mad at myself because I was a lot smaller when I was Moesha, and they made me the fat kid." She says, "The jokes, even the first episode, the line was, 'Oh, it's baby fat.' And what's her name goes, 'No, it's fat baby.'" This led me to today's main topic, which is that Black women have to stand in who we are unapologetically, because society will try to play us every single time. First, let's get into the psychology. Every woman is conditioned in society. Whether you're the white woman who has been told she has to fit the ideal standard, and so you need to be slim, blue-eyed with blonde hair, and so on, or if you're a black girl who has been told she's the opposite of the beauty ideal, and that her value is tied to aspects that objectify her, like her butt. This conditioning infiltrates communities so that women and men alike enforce them. As we learned with Countess's castmates teasing her about her butt, she's supposed to play into a stereotype in order to fit the ideal set by society standards, which, mind you, change all the time, because just a couple decades before hip-hop took over, having a big butt would have gotten you labeled as fat. But anyways, while all women are socialized to fit into a certain beauty category, I think it's most mind-boggling when done to Black women. And this is just my opinion. I mean, think about how much we contribute to society in terms of culture, aesthetics, economic power, our education, and on and on and on. In this instance in particular, it's wild to think somebody as talented as Countess will be made fun of or allow society's limited beauty ideals to influence the way she sees herself. This is a kind of body image disturbance that a lot of women go through, especially Black women, in spite of the fact that we are the ones who set the trends for what's hot and what's not. Countess's experiences relate to today's age of social media, where women are pressured to either meet the slim waist of a Kardashian or fit the BBL figure of a Jada Waiter. Constant comparison of social media can lead to not only body dissatisfaction, but body dysmorphia, because it reinforces unrealistic beauty standards and makes people hyper-focused on perceived flaws. For Black women, the pressure is double. Society already places Eurocentric ideals above our natural features, and then social media magnifies those ideals through filters, editing, and algorithms that reward certain looks. Over time, this can create a distorted self-image where women start to believe they don't measure up, even when there's nothing wrong with their appearance. For these reasons, I think it's important for Black women to stand confident in who they are, no matter what society says. Society will always try to convince us that we're either not enough or too much, all while taking everything we naturally embody, our style, our curves, our hair, our slang, and rebranding it as its own. That's why holding on to our confidence and affirming our beauty for ourselves is an act of both self-love and resistance. Resistance in the sense of refusing to let ever-changing standards dictate how our worth, choosing to love what we see in the mirror, and reclaiming ownership of what we create. It's pushing back against the idea that we need validation to be valuable, and instead setting the tone for how we want to be seen, celebrated, and remembered. As a Black girl, specifically one obsessed with film and television, I appreciate Countess so much for her contributions to the industry. She's an incredible talent who didn't just give us beauty, laughs, and timeless looks, but genuine representation. If you're a Black girl watching, I hope you know how special you are for yourself and aren't relying on the world to approve what God has already called. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know if you want me to do another video on anything else Parker related. I love this show so much, so I'd love to do something on maybe Nikki's style, because she stayed put together too, especially her hair, or maybe the psychology behind the love she had for Professor Ogilvy. Thanks again for picking up the phone, and I'll see you next time. Bye.